good stuff. Well, not even really. We're just gonna hop in. Today is the first day of the yellow sun wave spell. The yellow sun wave spell. So let's talk about what the yellow sun is and what it means for the next 13 days for us. And then we'll pull some cards to see the supporting energies around this time. The yellow sun represents enlightenment first and foremost. It represents life, the universal fire, true passions. This is the passion of Christ kind of card. And this card itself, this wave spell, this energy itself represents Christ consciousness, an elevated sense of being. So for the next 13 days, we may experience a lot of epiphanies, a lot of very profound dreams and experiences in the waking world since we're dealing with life. And it kind of slipped my mind, and I'm out there in the garden today and I'm creating space for new life. And the thing about it is we're always in tune with what the energy is if we can just still ourselves and be aware. Welcome on in. Great to see you. Healing pools. Going through the wave spell today is the first day of the wave spell of the yellow sun. So this time, and the yellow sun is the last of the 20 sun glyphs. So this completes a cycle. This completes a process. So this is like really coming full circle, especially in this year of the 8, and especially in this year of the blue storm, which is clearing the way for us to move forward. It's thundering and lightning outside right now, but it hasn't rained. It's been like that for the last 3 days. Greetings, Michelle. Always glad to have real people and no bots in the room. They blew up my live the other day trying to do all their whatever, but it's all part of the process, and that's what this is really about. The 20th sign in the whole archetype of the 20 suns is completing. It's coming to an awareness. It's coming to conclusions. It's coming to that point where we start seeing why certain things are meant to happen in our lives and seeing the wisdom behind it. But it's really about the appreciation for life. I was sitting in the Dollar General yesterday, and this is probably a lot of that energy, but I was just appreciating how, even though it's a long line and there's only one cashier, that all these people had their own individual existences, but are a part of the one. You know what I'm saying? And it was a real profound moment to witness and be a part of how so many perspectives are stemming from the source and how the source experiences itself through us. And we're all part of this, whether we like it or not. You know what I'm saying? Brittany's in the building. Brittany's in the building. Thank you, goodness, because they'll be through in a little bit, I'm sure. You know what I'm saying? And what's going to go on is with this. This is where you kind of get into that energy of no self, where you're not looking for any validation. And they're in the room now, Britt. You see how it jumped up to 22. We'll see how that roll, right? And let's pull some supporting cards. The Anise Star, which really is representing this retrograde that we're in. And look, more star energy with the star. So this is about healing. This is about becoming one's true self. This is a lot about the subconscious coming to the surface. Things being seen for what they are, no longer able to hide your true self one way or the other. You understand what I'm saying? The Anise Star is this retrograde where we're being asked to take a step back in order to move forward. This, in my experiences studying astrology, is one of the most powerful Mercury retrogrades I have experienced since I started consciously studying astrology. This thing is retrograding like no other, you know what I'm saying? And there's been quite a few that have hit, but this one is really asking us to pay attention and slow down and look at every last little bit, every last little piece, where we may be getting in our own way, where we may be self-sabotaging, where we may not be seeing where our blessings are, or, maybe finding that last piece to the puzzle. and making sure that all these things are in line so that when the arrow is released, we are on target. You know what I'm saying? Especially with our speech and our communication and our thought process. Self-talk is really big right now. The way we speak life into ourselves. Like I said before, one of the key words of this 13-day wave spell is life. And what that means, the experiences, you know what I'm saying? Um, that we go through in life. What is life to you? You know what I'm saying? Really think about what is life. Is it, we really don't talk about that much. We just take it for granted it is us moving around in bodies. You know what I'm saying? But as we know, life goes on beyond the physical. So what is this energy? What is this thing that we call life? And the star energy being all over the place. Yeah, Britt, stars and stars and stars alike. We are, just like it says in the Bible, and this is one thing that you got to remember with all these holy texts, they originate from one single source. It's just different perspectives. And then later on, we had people who took advantage of that to take advantage of people to maintain a certain status or control, right? But even in the Bible, it says every man and every woman is a star. So this is really looking beyond even the physical part of ourselves and really getting in touch with the more energetic, the more cosmic, the more expanded awareness of who we are, on so many different levels. And I know a lot of us have been going through these changes and they've been uncomfortable. You know what I mean? We've been in some really funky spaces. I can speak for myself. It's been really interesting, the places that I've ended up and the people I've been around. You know what I mean? But as this mirroring kind of effect takes hold, we really get to see where the judgment in ourselves has been, you know what I'm saying, seeing things in others, where the projections have been coming from, and getting to the truth of the matter of who we truly are at this time and who are we becoming, really, you know what I'm saying? But being in the moment and being grateful for where we are now, for me, gratitude is really the new currency as well, as your attention, because it's like the more that you engage, the more that you consciously give that reverence, you're really giving it to yourself and the entire collective. So there's a profound power in each of us individually that feeds, that everybody else can feed into. You know what I'm saying? Pull a couple more. The Queen of Diamonds. This is a big one, and this is a good one for me because in the last year and a half, it's really been a focus on getting my health, back on track fully, eating the right things, going back to the dentist and getting work done, getting back into yoga class. Like I said, the healthy self-talk, even the things that I'm watching and the things that I'm reading and the people that I'm around, willingly anyway, all go back to this thing of the value of maintenance and how that helps us to maintain life in a very healthy way. To we will, it's one thing to experience life, but to be in pain or be disabled, it just kind of takes the joy out of it. You understand what I'm saying? So this is a time where we really need to focus on what we need for ourselves at this time to maintain a healthy lifestyle, to maintain a healthy perspective, a healthy mind state, an emotional mind state that's balanced. I'm feeling a lot of temperance energy here. And this is what our journey has taught us, seeing the good and the bad, quote unquote, so that we can recognize both sides of the coin, so to speak, you know what I mean? And start to make the proper decisions. Because one thing that works for me might not work for you, you understand, and vice versa. So it's really important that we find our own remedies for things, our own way of maintaining ourselves by knowing who we are. The Judgment, absolutely. This wave spell, I feel for a lot of us, is going to be a release of a lot of judgment, not only of others, but of ourselves. this society thrives on us being in a unbalanced and unhealthy state of mind. This is why we have places like DeVita. You know what I'm saying? There's one in every state I've ever lived in where the dialysis goes on. You know what I'm saying? Where we're looking towards anything and everything for quicker solutions other than ourselves and our own internal guidance. But the judgment of it all, of who we've become and the things that we've experienced in the past, this is really coming to the forefront now to be released in such a way. Let's go back to the yellow sun real quick because this bad boy been talking all day. So let's talk about the practical sense of the yellow sun. The vitamin D, the getting the sunlight, the getting the downloads. You know, it is hot out here in NOLA. It has been, we haven't gotten rain. We've gotten the thunder and the lightning, but we haven't really got the water. But we've gotten plenty of sunshine. And there is a lot coming through that sunshine. It's a message in every ray of light, it seems like. You know what I'm saying? But this is also talking about the illumination, illuminating things right now, things that were once in the dark, things that were once in this subconscious part of the star coming out of the water, you know, things that were hidden in the dark. But we're going to see a lot more truths come to light. This, in combination with the blue storm wave spell, is really going to clear the way because there's no longer going to be any excuses. There's no going to be any place to hide from certain things. You understand what I'm saying? And for those of us who've been doing the work, we've been down these dark alleyways and crevices for quite a while. You know what I'm saying? Rooting out our own fears, our own insecurities. Maybe we were meant for the limelight and we're just afraid to step into it, becoming that star that we truly are. Maybe we were afraid to express our gifts and our talents, much like our ancestors might have been at one time because of the witch hunts and the inquisitions. You understand? Our ability to work with medicines and nature and things that other people may deem as demonic. You know what I'm saying? Knowing that we're both light and dark. And there again is more of that judgment energy. But this judgment is really about looking back and really taking stock. And you know, I really want y'all to celebrate who you are right now in your journey moving forward because it has a lot to do with the growth and everything that we've learned up to this point and using that wisdom to guide us into the future, which is already here as well. You know what I'm saying? The dream time has been quite interesting in the last few days, to say the least. You know what I mean? So this is ironically the first card ever created for the deck. It was done in 2004. So this is full circle for me. You understand? And this year is full circle. This 8 year, especially with the Lionsgate being triple eights, this is really coming full circle for a lot of us. One thing I've been asking myself and others is, why did I start the journey in the first place? Well, let's just say consciously. You know what I'm saying? We've always been on the journey. Even before we got here, we made the agreement, right? But really remembering the key points. You know, was it a trauma? Was it a dream? Was it it could be a whole lot of different things at a bunch of different times. You understand what I'm saying? But what was at the core essence of it? You know, it's really getting back to who we truly are, not what the world has painted us to be through stereotypes and media and all kinds of propaganda. But the light that we hold and what it means for this world right now. I don't care if it's just you and your community, you and your family, or you and a whole group of people. It all makes a difference at this time, you know? Yeah. Stepping out of the shell and many amazing things have happened. This is a very fearless time, and I really urge you all to treat it as such. There is nothing that can't be done that's conceived in our minds. You know what I'm saying? This is like a rebranding of who we are. You know what I mean? And I've been saying it for a while. You're going to reintroduce yourself to the world. And I heard Miss Blue say it the other day, and it just brought so much warmth to my heart to hear somebody else say it in such a way. Even with the Who-kah Lounge, it's going to be, I'm going to flood New Orleans with these stickers. You know what I'm saying? And I wasn't going to get them done, but I thought to myself, why am I hesitating on things that I love doing, that represent who I truly am at this time? The lack mentality, it's got to go. You know what I'm saying? So working on even deeper levels of things that I have thought I had worked on is taking me to another level. And there's the humility and all that, because we're not here to be perfect in that sense, where we don't make mistakes, where we don't bump our heads. That's part of the process. And this is what the yellow sun reminds us. If we didn't make a lot of bad decisions or bump our heads during our journey, we wouldn't be at the point where we are now. It's a learning curve, you know what I'm saying? And we all learn at different rates, different paces. Some days it might be accelerated, and other days it might seem like nothing is moving at all, right? But it's just a testament to our will and our heart and our belief, if you will, in ourselves, because we realize we're bigger. We're part of something a lot bigger than just us and what we go through. Now, quick word on other things that came while I was in the garden today was, during this retrograde, be very mindful of your personal belongings and being very secure with your boundaries and your what you use to protect yourself. I mean, just something as simple as making sure hitting the button twice on your car alarm so you make sure the bitch is locked. There's been a lot of theft, and it's on many levels. You have people who are stealing identities. You have people who are stealing destinies. You have people who are stealing cars. And just like the brother across the street, he pulls up and he's in a rage because somebody stole his weed whacker off the back of his truck while he was doing the yard. You know what I mean? So it's not so much about being on guard. It's more about being very deliberate and very mindful. Like, slow down and make sure everything is in order. You understand what I'm saying? Do not rush this process, because this is where we get to shed all that old skin. For some of us, we might have just a little patch on our arms left to pull out. For some of us, we're just climbing out of the cocoon. No big deal. We're all going to get there in our own time. No big deal. So it's about really taking our time and enjoying this process, because what this is going to lead us to is a whole nother paradigm, if you will. You understand what I'm saying? A whole nother way of experiencing life and creating life at the same time. You know what I'm saying? The way we deal with each other, regardless of what's on the surface or who looks like what or your financial situation, but dealing with everybody as such. And it doesn't mean that even those people you forgive, that you bring them back into your life so they could, put the knife back in your back. We're not at that stage anymore. We're not that naive. We're not that gullible. We're very aware of what's going on in the world right now. And there's a lot of people who are not aware of these energies that are going on. It's very confusing. So you may be the light for other people. Your example, just by the way you live your life without saying a word, without you even knowing, just doing what you do and being who you are, is all that needed be at this time with this yellow sun. All right, everybody. So, be extra gentle moving forward in this next 13 days. Take very good care of yourself, as the maintenance card suggested, this Queen of Diamonds. But she also is talking about like a luxurious inheritance, which is our birthright. You understand what I'm saying? This is most definitely an inner dialogue of an absence of a lack mentality. You understand what I'm saying? And making sure that all the things that bring you joy, all the things that keep you in balance, in check, taking walks, doing fasting, cleaning out here and there, keep you in a high vibration. All that is in the forefront, because that is what makes the rest of everything move so much smoother. Okay, everybody? If you have any questions, or if you like a card while you're in the room, I'll be more than happy to pull. Fancy's deck is still available, and now that I got the hookah stickers, I can start putting those in the packages. I'm excited about spreading those throughout New Orleans at this time on my bike rides. So this is part of how I'm going to shine my light and be in more than one place at one time. You know what I'm saying? So it's really about how you feel about where you're at and what you're here to do, your purpose, and really taking that. Uh, I don't want to say serious because it takes the fun out of it. You know what I'm saying? Not taking it so serious, but being very mindful because you're here to experience something wonderful. Feel like canvas. These are not like regular stickers, and I'm so it's like a canvasy kind, so I can put these anywhere and they won't get wet and peel off. Um, I got one at a couple of bus stops already. People sitting around looking around. Boom, there it is. But even with this, with these stickers, even with your attention and your light, the thing that I'm mindful of is that I'm putting them in places that resonate with me. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to put these in places where like minds congregate, or I would think they would congregate. Places where, you know, there's a need for that kind of service that I offer. You understand what I'm saying? So it's the same with whatever your sticker, quote unquote, is, your brand, your mark. That your energy is not being squandered by people who would not appreciate it. There you go, Britt. How about that? And this is a collective read, so I want you to all kind of take hold of this because even though this is for Britt, I will pull a card that's all you next, okay? But this is really what it's about, taking another leap. Yes, another leap of faith. Yes, yes, yes. Maybe the other ones were just little, oh God, Britt, you're just you're on fire. This is all new beginnings for you because this is the card that starts again after the yellow sun would be the red dragon. The cycle repeats, so you're coming back to self here. You know what I'm saying? And this is for a lot of us. This is for a lot of us. Learning to spread our wings. I can't tell you how many feathers I have found in the last week. I think I found more feathers in the last week and a half than I have in the last 3 years being in contact with my guides, and being on this journey of spirituality, you know what I'm saying? Which lets me know that the frequency, the communication is amping up, that these events that we've all been waiting for are right here. You know what I'm saying? They're here right now. There's no more waiting. It's about taking advantage, but it's also about taking our time. We don't have to rush this. You know what I'm saying? It's not like, you get $1 million. You don't just go out there and blow it. It's like take your time and invest it in the places that it needs to invest. Put it in places that it can grow for the future generations. You know what I mean? Where you can give to others. And Britt, your last message is, and this goes into the protection thing. Good self maintenance will usually ward off a lot of negative energy anyway. And I don't mean negative energy in the aspect of yin or feminine energy, because that is negative energy at the end of the day, as masculine as positive. I'm just talking about unwanted kookabugs. Bugs. You feel me? Coral dragon is that aura that you present, that you put out there, is enough. Your light alone will make them run for the hills. You know what I mean? Yeah, and you got a couple of dragons here. I've been seeing them everywhere myself, as far as like the imagery and the just the presence of it. You know what I'm saying? And I said to myself, there's no coincidence that that House of Dragons is big right now. That they brought that out at this time. But this is like the protection. You don't need to pull your claws and your teeth out, because the coral dragon really doesn't have those. It has that, if you bite me, you're going to do it to yourself kind of thing. You feel me? It's one of those things. And that's one of the things I've had to come to grips with my own. Like, we're walking karma for a lot of people. And what I mean by that is when they come across us and they experience us in a way, they're faced with a mirror You understand what I'm saying? And you could either see yourself in a way or you can project into that mirror. You know what I mean? It's a choice. And depending on how people treat you is usually how that energy is going to play out in their lives. And what do I mean by that? If this was my birth card and I was born a red dragon, right? That means this is the energy signature that I carry. So when I meet people, this is what they're really meeting. This is what's underneath the surface. I bring in the energy of nurturing being and birth and input. You understand? So if you treat somebody who is in their natural, authentic self badly, you're going to get the opposite of all this. You understand what I'm saying? You're going to get the opposite of all this without this person having to do anything. So it's just one of those things that reminds us that you can't look at the surface of things. Do not treat people based on their looks or appearance, all the superficiality. Really see who a person is before you make that judgment that we just talked about. Yeah, them dragonfly. Yeah, and the other day was the first day a dragonfly actually landed in my hand. Usually I had to do the dragonfly fishing. That's what I put in the comments. Dragonfly fishing. I used to have to go out there with a stick, a long stick, and I would sit there and put it up higher than all the other sticks to see if I could get one to land on my stick, and it usually worked. But this is the first time I put my hand out and a dragonfly just landed there. You understand? So these are the signs and synchronicities that we're looking for. We're not looking at the presidential race. We already know what all this stuff is. You know what I'm saying? Um, yeah, dragonfly. That's what I call it. Dragonfly fishing. So it's a good way to one test your patience because it might take a while. You know what I'm saying? Especially if they're in a dog fight for mates and all that. They're not worried about that. It's usually where they rest and eat. But there's a lot in there that comes in that kind of space. You understand what I'm saying? For everybody, it's all different. So I can't tell you that exactly what happens in there. It's something you have to experience for yourself. You feel me? And that's the beauty of life. There is no right and wrong way. There is no one way to do something. You understand what I'm saying? How I do it and how you do it may be different, but we both get the results that are necessary for each one of us. You understand? Mm-hmm. And even with the dragonflies, you gotta remember the wings from the old totem books and stuff like that. The reflection, the rainbow colors on there, even them being above the water for only a fraction of their life, but being in the subconscious or the underworld or underwater for 3/4 of their life. You know what I mean? These are very magical creatures, but they remind us of that we're magical as well. You understand? I love dragonflies. And plus they eat mosquitoes, so that's always a plus. Yeah, the iridescent, yes. Great. Great word. Anybody else has a card while I'm here at this time? Because these are the only times I'm going to pull cards for folks, unless it's a reading or anything like that. Mm-hmm. Unless somebody did, and I just missed it. But I think the ones that we did for Brit was pretty much on point for us all. Michelle, okay, so we'll go ahead and get additional messages. Yep. So here's some more for you. Here you go, Michelle, the King of Hearts. For you personally, this may be someone in your life. But at the core, if we're looking at self first, which we always do, this is the masculine, or this is the active part of your expression of love, a heart of gold. And this is exactly what I'm talking about not judging the appearance. Regardless of who the baby mothers were, so to speak here, you could tell that they were all different, but he loves them all the same. Now, if we take that out and move it up a step further, these are the cultures of the world kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? Different backgrounds, different ethnicities. You feel me? Yeah, I just shuffled these. You got the coral dragon, so this is a reoccurring theme for all of us. Let the divine work on your behalf right now. Let your energy, the truth needs no defense. And I learned this at work when I got written up the other day because there's people in there really trying to sabotage your brother, and I ain't doing nothing in there but my damn job. You know what I'm saying? And people feel some type of way because I don't want to submit to their abuse of power. You understand what I'm saying? Um, I had a manager in there write his phone number, and I said his phone number on my worksheet when they were giving him out. And I don't remember him doing that with anybody else's. And it took me a minute because when I didn't use the damn number, uh, because it didn't make no sense to, I already knew where I was supposed to be on my post and everything. Um, he left me on my post 17 minutes after my time to leave, 2 days in a row. And on the third day, he started doing it again. And as I started to look for somebody because my radio wasn't working, well, I get written up for leaving my post. And he sat there and didn't say a word. So instead of making a big fuss, I just took the L. You know what I'm saying? I'll lose a battle to win the war kind of thing. Um, so instead of me making a big fuss about it, I know the truth. I know what my intuition is telling me. And yeah, I was slow on it because that's not my flow anyway. So I'm not recognizing that kind of a sign. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, fuck out of here with that. But at the same time, it's kind of like what I was saying before, how our energy, that light exposes people. And since I've been in New Orleans, that's pretty much what I've been doing. I've been put in some pretty sticky situations where the light makes people envious or jealous. And this is not everybody. I've met some really great people down here. Some really genuine people down here. And as I clear myself out, I'm starting to meet a lot more. Yeah, absolutely. Irritates the demons. So it's even more of a testament to your work. And then you got the Queen of Clubs. And I really like this one for you, Michelle, because this is speaking of New Orleans, this is my Marie Laveau card at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? And she was the first entity or spirit that I talked to when I crossed the Pontchartrain when I first came down here. And she gave me a message about the children and everything else going on down here. And why there is a curse in New Orleans that she did cast is because of all the corruption, spiritual and otherwise. You understand what I'm saying? So what I came to the conclusion is I am part of that curse. That's why I was called down here. And I've been doing my job pretty goddamn well. So, there's always a bigger picture to things. But for you, this is very intuitive. This is very much connected to the ancestors, but belief systems as well, because she was very good at blending different things together. As far as the Catholic religion, along with the voodoo, but she was also an advocate, a very savvy businesswoman, but she was an advocate for injustices, but she was highly intuitive as well. She knew how to balance the act where her place of business was good just by word of mouth and hearing what's going on in the community, and also her connection with the spirit realm and her own intuition, which helped her navigate her time here. And it's really interesting if you want to go Google it, because I wanted to know why she put a curse on it, but I think I asked the wrong question, because what I came to was it was almost like a piece of poetry that she wrote of why she put the curse on there on New Orleans, and it had a lot to do with what I just explained. So it would be something to take a look at, because this clubs almost gives like that Queen of Swords energy of someone who's been through the ringer, who's experienced it all on that negative end of the scale, and has become pretty much a cutthroat warrior at the end because of it. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's what I got for you right there, Michelle. And like this same thing applies with when Brittany pulled it out. It's that same thing. It's the light. You really don't have to do too much, but it doesn't suggest that you don't protect yourself in other ways. You know what I'm saying? Just to cover. It's like keeping a receipt, basically. Just making sure you keep your receipts. You know what I mean? Because even my timesheet was different on 3 different timesheets that I had to sign off on. One had 2 days, the other one had 2 days, the other one had 4 days. And I'm like, well, ain't this some Mercury retrograde shit? Somebody's incompetent up in here, or they're petty as fuck. Either way, I got the receipt. You feel me? So that's what I mean. You just have your, just in case they want the hookah. Just in case. You're covered. But as far as retaliation and taking revenge and all that, that's not necessary. In most cases, people like that will do it to themselves. You know what I'm saying? They'll fall on their own sword. I've seen it so many times, it's ridiculous. All right. At least till everything is resolved, you know what I mean? And then get that thing out of your cipher. No need to hold on to things. Yeah, and it'll be that way till, let's say, after the first week of September. Keep that energy, you know what I'm saying? Because we'll go through that shadow phase. And like I said, this is a powerful RX. So, keep it astride, keep it in check, keep it slow. Take your time. There's no rush. Oh, yeah, you're welcome. Absolutely. Is there anyone else? Or, I mean, shit, those two right there covered a lot. As well as the general. Let's see. Okay. Well, I'll pull one more for the closing, and then we go about our divine work. Thank you for joining, and as always, I appreciate each and every one of you, whether you're here now or come back later. But also remember that if you're finding yourself in places where you're more alone now, that's just clearing out for new people to come in. And we're not talking about everybody being cast out because they're demons or devils, but we're meant to bump into new energies at this time. So the last card is Temperance. And this is what I was talking about in the beginning. Keep it balanced. Keep yourself balanced, however that is. You know what I mean? Just as nice as you are, be just as gangster as you need to be. Just as loving and nurturing, God, what is it? Generator, operator, destroyer, make sure you got both. Working together. You know what I mean? What's on the bottom? Yep. What's on the damn bottom after that shuffling? All right. Say no more. All right. So, anything beyond this, it's in the description box. And y'all know where I be at anyway. You can always reach out, even if it's just to have a simple conversation, whatever. It's always an honor and a pleasure to be a part of and serve a higher vibrational community of like-minded souls and kindred spirits. And yeah, absolutely. Gratitude. Thank you. Yeah, I needed this too. Believe it or not, I needed this too. It's been on my heart. There's been a lot that's been on my heart lately, and finally coming to terms with where all that is originating from and where it's leading. You understand what I'm saying? And not sitting around being just in the thinking mode, overthinking anything right now. So that's another thing you watch out for in this retrograde is make sure you're not overthinking or overanalyzing. What is it? Analysis paralysis. Go take you a nice walk or something, or find a craft or a hobby you can indulge in. Take your mind off of things. You know what I mean? But you're all absolutely extremely welcome anytime, especially on the lives. You know what I'm saying? Come on through. We'll chop it up and share our pieces of the puzzle so that we can all walk out a lot better than we were when we walked in. You know what I'm saying? But everybody enjoy the rest of your day, and today for the next 13 days, bask in that light. Really experience it. Experience you first for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Before anybody else gets that beautiful energy. Really take that time to appreciate your journey and allow that energy to open you wide on open. You know what I'm saying? All right. So this your boy, Transformative Tarot, unique individuals, all under the Who-kah Lounge. You know what I'm saying? I'm really excited. I'm excited for all of us and what this beautiful time is going to bring. You know what I'm saying? It's like a great and terrible time at the same time, but we ain't signed up for nothing we couldn't handle. All right. Oh, Brittany, you said the Transformer today. Well, it's funny because I've been waiting on it all day. I'll reveal it later on IG because I got a story to tell with that. Okay, so that's under wraps until he comes. It's funny because today was the day he's supposed to arrive, and I already got the notification. It is en route now, so I'm excited. I'm excited. You know what I'm saying? All right, but I'll talk to y'all later. Wholeness and love.